Hello, welcome. Happy Sabbath, everyone. I'm going to dive right into it. Today I'm going to talk about Passover. We're in the month of Nisan right now, and we're approaching Pesach, which is the month of Passover. That's when the children of Israel were being freed from Pharaoh's bondage and slavery. And when you go into Exodus, the 9th chapter, after they were freed, it says, let us go and serve the Lord. Whenever God delivers you from something and sets you free from whatever bondage you put yourself into, you have to serve God. You have to learn, you have to serve Him. And you cannot go back to the old ways of the things you were doing. You know, when God was getting ready to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, God told Lot, He told Abraham and Lot, get out of this country because I'm getting ready to destroy this land, this place, this town, this city, this country. And they left. They fled. Lot's wife looked back. Lot didn't look back. Lot kept running. He kept on going. He didn't look back. His wife looked back and she turned into a pillar of salt. And they say it's right there. This salt, she's still there in the statue. So when God delivers you, you have to run and you have to serve Him. That's just something that I wanted to give a little food for thought. We enter into Pesach. We're in the month of Nisan, April 1st. Usually it depends on the linear year. Sometimes it'll fall in March, but this time the linear year, Passover is coming in April. And so the children of Israel, when they got out there in the wilderness, God told them, I want you to go into a feast of unleavened bread. Now, when they was leaving out, they had to leave in haste. So they didn't have time for the leaven or to use any yeast for the leaven to rise. So they had to leave out in haste. So when they got out there, they had to eat that unleavened bread. And God told them when they got out into the wilderness, okay, I want you all to hold a feast for me. All He was asking for was a feast of unleavened bread. The unleavened means no sin. A little lump spoils the whole, a little bit of yeast spoils the whole lump. So all God was asking them, give me 7 days of no sin. And I'll give you 51 days of blessings, of harvest. So after the Passover is on the 14th. After the 14th comes in the 15th. From the 15th to the 21st of this month, after Passover, you go into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay? That means you don't sin for 7 days. No sin for 7 days. After the 7 days, you go into, on the 21st, you go into 51 days of first fruit. And you mark it. And each day you get up and you praise God. You give Him your first fruits or your love offering. And you should get a blessing every day. And all He asking for is 7 days after the Passover. 7 days. No sin. And I'll give you 51 days of blessings. Isn't God good? He's wonderful. So in Exodus, the 9th chapter, after he freed the children of Israel, they said, let us go and serve the Lord. Okay, so now I'm going to run this fast forward. We're going to talk about when the children of Israel, when they was all a one nation, it wasn't about color. Everybody was just Israel. You was either a Hebrew or you was an Egyptian. So we didn't look at each other. They was a multicolored race of people like we are now. Some had different color of hair, some different texture of hair. But we were a multicolored race of people. We didn't start getting divided. We didn't look at each other like that at color or race. It was just like the children, Adam and Eve, when they was in the Garden of Eden, they didn't know they was naked until they sinned. When we fell from grace, when we started serving them idol gods, and so what happened was certain people got together and said, we're going to create some kind of religion. So we had all these different religions, and that's what divided us. And so God said, since y'all want to have these idols and these religions, Okay, then I'm going to separate you all. And so some of you all, you look like that, you're going to go over here, you got them slanted eyes, you're going to go over there, oh, your hair a little bit thicker, you a little bit darker, you're going to go here, there. So we got scattered out in the four corners of the earth. And then came religion, and religion started dividing people. And then from religion came politics. Politics brought racism. So that was to divide, the spoil, division. We got to come out of this racist stuff. This is not of God. God is one God of one nation of people. And we cannot be racist toward each other. We must love each other in spirit and in truth. That is one of the first commandments God said, to love. You have to love. How can you love God when you don't even love your brother and your sister? Or somebody that has a different color skin of you, or a different texture of skin, and you hate them, and you cause divination. I know we got a bad history over here in America. Throughout the country, there's a bad history. But we got to start loving each other. We got to start treating each other with kindness. And that's another food for thought I want to say is that you cannot forget where you come from. Okay, your world, your talents, your mind might take you in different vast parts of the world around different people, but you can't forget about your face value or how your parents raised you and how they talk and how they act, because that's your culture. And it's okay to develop, different value systems as long as it's good and positive and it's going to add to your life. But don't forget about who you are, because then you become an unbalanced person. In order to keep your balance of yourself, you can't forget about who you are and change your face value of who you are, because that's you. No matter where you go in life, don't forget about where you come from. Don't forget about how you was raised. How did your mother talk? How did your father talk? What was their vernacular? You keep that and you enhance it, but you keep that because that's your face value. That's your foundation. And without a foundation, you'll fall. So that's food for thought that I have. I'm going to come back to you on the second part of this video. I'm going to read the Shema. Okay? Have a good one. Stay blessed. Stay positive.